So, let's first talk about how amazingly beautiful this river is today. This is my home area, the Isar. And I'm out here today on my little SUP board. And the question that's preoccupying me right now, other than this little rapid that's going up ahead, is who am I? Because Bjorn Heyerdahl on the Midgard expedition has asked me to give him some words so that when people look at the website, the Midgard expedition website, they can get a feel about who I am. So that's a question. Well, I'm definitely versatile, and some would say I'm a trailblazer. I've done a lot of different stuff in business. I'm a martial arts instructor and stuff. But basically, my craft is to adapt to things the way they are, to be really situationally aware, and to have meta skills. So proprioception, strength and flexibility, endurance, navigation, rigging. These are sort of meta skills that, and actually the art of learning at all, which is what is really making you adaptive and able to kind of cope in situations, and such as this one. It's just nice when you know that you can just stand here, one paddle, and film yourself going through this rapid, even if you haven't done it before, because you have a certain base capability in your body, in your mind, in the way that you work on things, in the way that you solve problems. And my point of view on things is basically that's how you do adventures. So I'm an adventuress in every sense of the word. In my 27th permanent dwelling here on the Isar. I've done all sorts of interesting things in business. I've run $1.5 billion sourcing organization for Johnson & Johnson. So I bought packaging, which was my dad's business, for Johnson & Johnson at a global level, because I knew how to do it, and it's basically learning very, very quickly, knowing how to learn. I've been in command of a supply chain operation, $1 million a day, shocks on trucks. Hey boys, in Tenneco, jongens. Ja, ze staat er echt op, hè, op de Vikingschip. Dankzij jullie, dus. Dit zijn stoere mannen, dames en heren. Echte mannen. So guys, Tenneco boys from the warehouse in Sint-Truiden, and girls, mademoiselle. This is how you be a lady in such places. You guys just rock. So I was looking after them, 350 guys, 45,000 to 50,000, and sometimes a lot more because they are good. Shocks on trucks every day. PostSAP, where there was a really drastic planning change. It took me 3 months to figure out what was going on. We blocked everything up with the SAP implementation. The planning adjustments, automatic adjustments, didn't get made, therefore, because it wasn't detecting the problem. It was just sort of becoming constipated. We then resolved the SAP problems, and the flow just went out into the orders, and of course we sucked the whole system dry because the planning triggers hadn't been adjusted. The planning triggers just saw the stock building up because we couldn't ship it because of the whole SAP stuff. So it stopped pushing, and it went a domino effect all the way back into supply chain, and it was Apollo 13. So that was that's the kind of leadership I do. I walked into there and just talked with the boys, the gentlemen who know how to do these things, and explained what we needed to do. I went and talked to the American owners and talked in the terms of the dollar, which is what you need, and very clear speaking, and just got it fixed. So we did. So that's the kind of adventures I like in business. The rest you can see on LinkedIn. It's, I love doing business, and I work for Gartner now, and they are kind enough to let me have good vacations, and I made an excellent deal with a stunning lady called Michelle Kwinsky. Hey Michelle, here I am, doing the thing I told you about. Yeah, this is my story for the Viking mission, Michelle, and so thank you. So she helped me get into Gartner, where I'm helping people every day, but it's a job whose structure is such that with a really good team you can let it be for a few weeks because it's quite transactional. I have crossed Hardangervidda with Mike Parsons, and I crossed it alone. Well, was in it alone for 6 weeks, solo. In the Beast of the East storm, I was once, every so often I'd go back to the hotel for 2 days to just kind of thaw out and get dry and eat something and make sure I had good comms and load my electrics and stuff, because forget solar. But in the Beast of the East, and having a huge adventure there, which I have film of but haven't cut yet because it was super drastic. That was a pilgrimage, and yes, I'm a priestess. Consider myself a devotee of the Lake Weichensee, of this river and these mountainous areas here. They're everything. We have caving, climbing. We have, unfortunately, a lot of accidents, so I help with search and rescue efforts there to do tracking. I work with my awesome buddy Sepp Fischer, who he's just amazing, Waldhandwerk. He's a man of forest and mountain, and he just knows what he's doing. So I get to teach kids sometimes and adults and work with him. And I have awesome buddies who help me train and keep me safe, Cosmo and Taro, and lots of adventures with Rudy and flying and all these things. So there you have it. But right now we have a helicopter over Browneck, which usually isn't really great news. Hope it's not the yellow one, but we'll see. So started playing on started the water thing. I started swimming before I could walk, I guess. I was in the swim team for a long time. Also swimming outdoors, like getting greased up with goose fat and jumping into this 12-degree water. And so to this day, I don't like cold water on my skin, but I love cold water, so I'm a big fan of wetsuits and things like this. So yeah, started swimming, then kayaking, windsurfing. I came to, I came of age in a sailboat. My father and my uncle were really close buddies, and we would go together on vacations together. And my uncle David was like the top sailor. And he brought a 420 and a laser and a windsurf board, and we just had this great lake adventure. And one day he was out on the surfboard. Oh, and we had a rib, right? We had a motorboat in case anybody got in trouble, because he was so conscientious. We had a rib, safety boat. So we had this boat. He goes out on the lake, and it's sudden storm offshore, and he's on a windsurfer, doesn't really know what he's doing, no wetsuit. None of us really knew. And he just boop, he's drifted off. So me and Roger, who is the next best sailor, were sort of thinking, maybe we should go and get him. But of course he had the keys to the rib in his pocket. So I was maybe 14. It's okay, well, let's go get him in the 420 then, next best thing, right? It's a 2-man Olympic dinghy, and it's doing 6. All right. And my mom was like, yeah, go. My dad was like, go. And my aunts were like, but she's a child. And they're like, yeah, kinda. So Roger and I went out and got him. And after that, I was an adult in my tribe. But it was mainly just because Roger was a pretty good captain, and that I just didn't know any better, and I was pretty cool about being in the water for a long time. So, and ever since then, that's kind of how it's been. It's calculated risks. People think that what I do is risky, and they don't realize with what careful calculation I do so, because I've been trained to it's this measure of joyous situational awareness, and people like J.P. Bresser, my diving instructor, teaches it. Rodney, Rocket, soft skiing in Garmisch, martial artists like Hatsumi Sensei. So yeah, I'm a ninja, not a very good one. He told me basically to, dojo, you go forest, you go mountain, dojo. And I was like, yeah, it's probably because my form is so embarrassing that you just don't want me around. But anyway, that's what he said, and I have witnesses, and so I'm trying to be a little Mizugomu, right? A little water spider, really good with rigging and ropes and things of all sorts, canyoning, sailing, and all types of rope stuff. I think that I like things that are paddles. I spend a lot of time doing stuff with them. And I love the water. So that's basically me. I have done quite a few endurance events. I do like endurance stuff, sort of ordeals and pilgrimages. 7-day solo running thing in the Carvendel. Most of it's on my YouTube channel if you want to see it and follow my craziness. But I do it because I love it, really, and it makes me strong and able, and I like that feeling of being strong and able. And the best thing about it is that it works best in the play zone. Bodily learning works best in the play zone, 70%. So you don't even have to be all like grr about any of it. You just go out and play and do it in a smart way and strongly, and learn from awesome people like Dixie Dunziker. Thank you for all your help getting me across Hardangervidda. Dixie is a polar explorer, and I took his course before going off to Hardangervidda. And also due to his training, and due to the training of Mick Monroe and also Harry Whale, Arctic warfare instructors in various branches of Her Majesty's, I knew how to be comfortable in that environment, and I was in a -47 environment with a -15 sleeping bag and a -4 sleeping bag and a Jervin bag, and those things together formed a system that I knew would work, so I was relaxed. And relaxed means you can then have buffer. So thank you guys all who've taught me, and I'm just going to go out the side here because we have a little weir coming up.